The sky over Ireland, leaden and battered by western winds, seemed to whisper a name since time immemorial, Tir Ena Nog, the eternal land. And among the men who dreamed of it, Brandan of Clonfert, a 6th century monk, was the first not only to imagine it, but to go in search of it. It was on a moonless dawn when he gathered his companions, 14 brothers in habit, and spoke to them of the vision he had received, an island wrapped in music, beyond the horizon, where time did not age and faith became flesh. Some trembled at his words. Others wept. And all accepted. They built a small leather boat, a curragh, and cast themselves into the ocean, guided by nothing but psalms and the breath of the Holy Spirit. For 7 years they sailed through seas of fire, islands of sleeping giants, beasts that spoke Latin, and heavenly choirs that descended in the form of birds. Brandan recorded everything in a notebook that water never touched. On one of those islands, they celebrated Mass on what they believed was solid rock, until the ground shifted. It was a giant fish named Jasconius. On another island, they found a spring that healed wounds, and an old hermit who did not eat, only prayed. But the strangest of all the islands was the one they could never fully reach. They saw it in the distance, cloaked in golden mist, with towers, palm trees, and bells. Whenever they tried to reach it, it vanished. And yet, Brandan's voice always said, "It will return. I promise." One day, the sea grew calm as if breathing. And before them, the island revealed itself. It was green like Ireland, mountainous like Eden, and at its center, a lake that reflected a different sky. Words were not enough. They spent 40 days there, feeling neither hunger nor sleep. There was no shadow, no night. Only peace, a constant song that came from no throat. And when they left, the island did not disappear, it was they who did. They returned to the world with a new light in their eyes. Brandan wrote down his account, but left a warning: it is not an island of bodies, but of souls. It only appears when one stops searching. Centuries later, in the southern Atlantic, on the Canary Islands, shepherds from El Hierro and La Palma began to tell a similar story. They said that on certain clear mornings, an 8th island could be seen to the west, with blue mountains and white mist. It's San Borondón, they said, the wandering island. It appears and disappears, the elders whispered. Sometimes, ships reach it but never return. Others say they do come back, changed. And so, the Canarians began to believe what the Irish had been singing for centuries, that there is a place beyond the world, that sometimes reveals itself, and that only the pure of heart can set foot upon. In the 15th century, a young Canarian friar named Fray Mateo de Taganana, obsessed with the legend of San Borondón, arrived at a monastery in Ireland in search of answers. There, a Celtic monk showed him the ancient manuscript, Navigatio Sancti Brendani. Matteo read it in Latin, and his soul trembled as he recognized the same islands, the same miracles, the same songs he had heard from the mouths of the Guan shepherds. "It is the same island," he exclaimed. "Our people see it too." The Irish monk nodded. "Perhaps it is not an island. Maybe it is a legacy of the soul that certain peoples have not forgotten." For the island of St. Brendan, or San Borondón, is not found on maps, but in the memory of those peoples who have never stopped dreaming.